Welcome, gentle listener, to Sleepy Facts. Here knowledge loosens its laces and lies down beside you, and stories move at the pace of your breath. Let your shoulders grow heavy, your jaw unclench, and your eyes find the slow dark beyond the room. You're safe here, you're welcome here, and softly together we drift. Feel the world thinning around the edges, the thin paper of the day, the soft tear of noise becoming hush. Inhale like a tide, rolling in, exhale like a tide surrendering. Above that quiet shore of breath, a lantern hangs not in the ceiling, but in space, the sun itself a steady, patient fire, turning its own weight into light. Tonight, we let that lantern guide us, not in straight lines, but in spirals and unhurried arcs across rings and shadows past winds that break their own sound into oceans that hide beneath ice. We are not counting sheep, we are counting orbits. We are not chasing facts, we are letting them float toward us one by one, like moths that do not burn. The sun hums below everything, a golden engine whispering the simplest magic hydrogen, becoming helium mass, becoming brightness. Each second it gives away a little of itself, millions of tons, so that warmth can exist, so that morning can arrive, so that you can feel the soft brush of light on a cheek you forgot to notice. Its music is deep and slow, a ringing inside the fire waves of pressure, rising and folding sound below. Sound, a heliospheric hymn you cannot hear, but your bones might remember. This is the melody of science turned down to a lullaby. Around that steady lantern, the planets turn like quiet thoughts in an ancient mind. We fall with them, not down, but around, slipping into the pale blue distance where Neptune holds court at the far edge of familiar light. Here the wind writes in a hand that outruns its own voice. Neptune's gales race faster than sound, carving storms into soft jade and midnight blue, whirling through hydrogen, helium, and methane, as if the coldest planet insisted on moving the most. It is distant and frigid, yet restless, a world whose heat is kept like an ember in a cupped palm radiating from within, feeding winds that would turn an airliner to a leaf. We listen to that far roar without fear. It is only weather, only motion, only the universe choosing to keep itself awake. Turn your head slowly toward Mars and see how silence can hold a scar. Across its equator, a canyon lies, not as a line, but as a continent-long valles marineris, wide enough to span nations, deep enough to swallow mountains. It didn't arrive by rivers' patience alone. The crust pulled, the world stretched, volcanoes breathed, and the skin of Mars cracked like old paint in dry weather. Elsewhere, a mountain rises in the thin pink day Olympus Mons, a shield of rock nearly 3 times Everest grown tall because the planet stayed still beneath it, no drifting plates to carry the hot spot away. Mars is quiet now, but its stillness is the kind that follows thunder. Venus is brighter than logic. A pale pearl at dusk, she turns backward in her slow-motion ballet, so slowly that a single day outlasts a year. The sun there rises in the west and sinks into the east as if time decided to look over its shoulder. Beneath the clouded veil, heat lingers like a vow, an ocean of air heavy with carbon dioxide pressure that could crush temperature, that could melt a story right off the page. And somewhere in its heart, the dynamo sleeps. No magnetic shield wraps this brilliant world. Without that cloak, the solar wind has been chewing patiently at her skin, stealing the lightest breaths, turning what might have been temperate into a furnace of shimmering silence. Beauty and sorrow together, a planet holding its own myth. Linger near the Sun a little longer and notice the messenger of edges, Mercury. It wears no true atmosphere, only a ghost of one. An exosphere of stray atoms, knocked loose by sunlight and whisper-fine meteors. Sodium, potassium, a hint of oxygen, a glitter of grains caught and released, always escaping, always renewed. And yet, in the craters that never see, dawn ice hides untouched by noon, locked in shadow so deep it might as well be memory. Here the hottest and the coldest touch without speaking. We pass Saturn in a hush, because beauty asks for it. From afar, the rings look solid like a blade of light. Up close, they are snow and glass dust, and house-sized ice scattered thin as a promise. They stretch hundreds of thousands of kilometers wide, yet their thickness is narrower than a city's skyline. A floating fresco too delicate to be believed. Gravity and shepherd moons comb them into braid and lace. The sun lays a pale hand on them, and they almost vanish when they turn edge-on as if a sheet of glass became air. But time is at work even here. The rings are not forever. The planet drinks from them in a slow rain of charged ice drawn by magnet and mass. It is a gentle falling, not a tragedy, but a season. And at the edges of what we call out there, two giants keep secrets, like a velvet pocket keeps a gem. Uranus and Neptune, cold and blue, carry the rumor of diamond rain in their depths. Under enormous pressure, carbon loses its dust logic and chooses crystal instead, descending like glitter through the dark until it becomes more weight than shine. It is not a fairy tale. In laboratories on Earth, such transformations have been coaxed and measured enough to imagine the way a storm could sparkle invisibly. Not all oceans are made of water, and not all water is where you expect it. Europa lies under a sheet of frozen light, scarred with lines the color of old ink, listening to Jupiter's gravity knead its interior until heat rises from below. There a subsurface ocean waits, briny moving, perhaps tasting of rock and mineral. Shifts in the ice suggest plates that may slide and dive like quiet mirrors of our tectonic choreography, helping ferry chemistry from surface to sea. Across the rings, Titan dreams of rain that is not rain, and lakes that are not water methane, and ethane pooling in patient hollows. Clouds that condense into liquid night rivers that find their way back to black seas. Cold does not mean empty. It only changes the alphabet of weather. Between Mars and Jupiter, the belt arrives not as a barricade, but as a breath, mostly distance, mostly quiet. Asteroids sail alone in lanes so wide a spacecraft can cross without glancing off a single stone. Some of these wanderers keep companions' moons the size of mountains that circle chunks the size of cities, caught by gravity's smallest promises. Others are rubble piles, loose confederations of pebbles and boulders, and dust held together by nothing more dramatic than mutual agreement. Ceres rises among them with roundness enough to earn a second-name dwarf planet, its bright salt scars shining like the last glint of a receding tide. Vesta keeps its layered heart, a proto-world with mantle and core, a fossil of what almost was. Beyond the belt, farther than comfort, the dwarfs keep their cold counsel. Pluto bears a bright heart, Sputnik Planitia, and the rumor of an ocean beneath kept liquid by heat that moves like a whisper through stone. Its atmosphere breathes with its long year exhaling when nearer the sun, collapsing back to frost when it retreats. Haumea spins itself into a stretched pearl and wears a coat of crystalline ice. Eris reflects so fiercely it could teach snow how to gleam. Out past them, the Kuiper belt spreads like a wide white blur, and farther still, the imagined shell of the Oort cloud, a distant spherical library of long-sleeping comets, waiting for a nudge from passing stars to remember they have tails. Some evenings, the sun wears spots the color of understatement. They are not cold-only cooler magnetic knots that dim the photosphere in careful patches. The star's heartbeat flips its own magnet, north to south and back again every 11 years or so, a cycle that swells the auroras and sends extra weather across the void. Flares, coronal breaths, bright filaments snapping like violin strings of plasma. Sometimes the music is loud enough to scratch radios and bend the compass of satellites. Even then, our planet's magnetic cloak leans forward and takes the brunt, guiding charged particles to the poles, where the sky becomes a green river that forgets to fall. Earth, for all its ordinariness, is odd in the best ways. Water here moves in all its moods, solid liquid vapor trading dresses, without leaving the ballroom. Beneath the map, the crust is not a shield, but a fleet. Plates drift, collide, subduct, and rise. These slow collisions lift mountains, these dives recycle stone. These motions help the climate breathe by tucking carbon away and letting it go again on geologic timescales. Deep inside, iron moves like thick honey, and that motion wraps the world in magnetism, a quiet guardian that deflects the solar wind and keeps our air from being chewed away. Even the moon, that luminous neighbor, is larger than a satellite ought to be for a planet our size. A relic from an ancient impact that steadies our tilt, choreographs the tides, and slowly, gently is backing away centimeters a year, like a friend exiting a room without turning off the lamp. Notice how motion makes mercy. Comet tails always point away from the sun, not behind the traveler, but away from the light dust and ion strands pushed by radiation and solar wind into banners that read, "Only this way lies heat." Planetary paths are not perfect circles, but ellipses near and far, perihelion and aphelion, a geometry Kepler heard when he listened to the sky. Jupiter keeps a miniature solar system, more than 90 moons from the volcanic scream of Io to the vast shadow of Ganymede, the only moon with its own magnetic field. A magnetosphere so large it would outstretch the sun if we could see it, a radiation belt fierce enough to worry machines and carve stories into ice. Saturn too, and Uranus and Neptune wear families of satellites like necklaces of frost and shadow. And around one of them, Triton moves the wrong way backward in a calm defiance that tells a tale of capture rather than birth. Neptune itself was in a way discovered by mathematics before the eye. The sky wavered in its ledger, Uranus misbehaved by fractions, and numbers pointed the telescope to where the wanderer waited. If you place your attention at the edge of everything, you'll find that edges multiply. There is the heliosphere, the sun's magnetic bubble blown vast and thin, a shield of charged breath that meets the interstellar medium at a boundary called the heliopause. Cross that line and the wind you feel is no longer ours. Two small craft have done so, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, carrying not urgency but kindness, a gold record with greetings and music, and the small domestic noises of a world that hopes. Their signals take hours and hours to come home. Still, they come telling us about plasma and fields and the texture of the dark. Beyond their path stretches the local cloud, a faint fog inside a larger bubble carved by old supernovas, and all of it is moving, including us, a caravan circling the Milky Way over 200 million years per loop. We are passengers on a carousel so slow we only know it by the math, not by the wind in our hair. Back nearer the sun, the clock keeps its luminous logic. Sunlight leaving the photosphere takes just over 8 minutes to reach your skin. The warmth you feel is not now, but very recent then. The photons that escaped did not start their journey today. They wandered for ages inside the star, bouncing in a crowded radiative hall, until at last they were flung into emptiness, where distance becomes ease. On Earth, the day lengthens by heartbeats over centuries as the moon tidally tugs. In the distant future, eclipses will become partial whispers instead of total silences as that companion drifts farther out. Meanwhile, Mercury keeps time with Einstein, its orbit's tiny misbehavior, that extra sliver of precession, matching the curve of space-time around the Sun, as predicted by general relativity, one of the quietest proofs ever written. Jupiter glows with a warmth it makes itself not fusion, but the squeeze of gravity's long memory releasing heat from slow contraction fueling storms that braid across its face. Neptune too radiates more than it receives a cold world with a warm secret. The Sun, for its part, will not always burn hydrogen. In a few billion years, it will expand into a red giant, give its outer layers to the night as a shell of color, and leave behind a white dwarf, a diamond heart the size of a planet cooling for longer than memory can count. Yet nothing in this paragraph asks you to worry. It is only a bedtime schedule written on cosmic stationery. Later, later, later. Listen for other small truths that do not ask to be held tightly. Some moons were born from ring debris. Some rings are temporary seasons in ice that will thin into rain. Some moons tremble with quakes. Some atmospheres leak a little into space and are topped up by volcano or sunlight or salt. Some meteorites carry Martian air in their tiny trapped lungs and land in our deserts with messages from another rusted shore. Planets share their neighborhoods with co-orbital companions that trace horseshoes or hover at Lagrange points, never quite neighbors, never quite gone. Hubble, skimming just above us, looks outward and inward, at once filing time-lapse diaries of Jupiter's belts, Neptune's tempests, Mars's seasons. And through it all, Earth tilts its steady 23.5-handing summer, back and forth across the equator like a cup of tea neither hemisphere is greedy to keep. Return for a moment to the smallest and the farthest in the same breath. In Mercury's polar night ice rests like a thought saved for later. At Pluto's edge of winter day, a fragile sky breathes in and out of frost. In Europa's black ocean, heat could rise from rock to water, the way comfort rises from a hand to a shoulder. At Enceladus, fishes called tiger stripes exhale plumes that glitter into Saturn's E ring, a snow that leaves home and becomes part of the parent's halo. Titan's rain returns to its lakes, the way rivers return to seas we know. Io empties itself in fountains of sulfur and stone. Ganymede shivers with auroras wrapped around its own magnetic whisper. Callisto may hide a hidden sea deeper than our guesses. These are not rumors. They are lullabies made of measurement sung softly so you can sleep. And if you look long enough at this moving architecture, you see that gravity prefers company. The farther from the sun we drift, the more moons gather in the cold like people around a low fire. Jupiter keeps dozens, Saturn too. Uranus and Neptune follow suit, Earth holds one carefully. Mars keeps two stones that look like captured thoughts. Venus and Mercury prefer solitude. Orbit by orbit, the choreography holds Pluto and Neptune never collide because resonance keeps their steps offset a metronome of ratio that turns potential chaos into dance. If there is a theme tonight, it is this: the universe is not hurrying you. It is patient with your breath, indulgent with your gaze. Facts do not jab here, they float, and every number has a shadow image you can feel. Fast winds becomes the sound of cloth whipping on a line. Paper-thin rings becomes a pane of glass that disappears when turned. Hotter corona becomes the surprise of a cool stove with a hot halo. We keep falling around the lantern in wider circles, and yet the room gets quieter. You are not leaving anything behind, you are gathering. Valles Marineris is a canyon. In your mind, it can be a long exhale across a desert of rust. Olympus Mons is a volcano. In your body, it can be the slow lift of your ribs. Venus's backward spin is a fact. In your heart, it can be permission to move against the expected rhythm and still be a world. Neptune's supersonic wind is a measurement. In your ears, it can be silence that hums with potential. And so, the night drifts onward. We keep floating further into the quiet. The stars draw their soft circles, and the orbits hum beneath us like strings on a distant instrument. Everything we pass seems to breathe, not in air, but in rhythm. Each world has its own tempo, its own patience. The solar system is not a machine turning in steel precision. It is a slow waltz of gravity and grace. The sun, at its heart, vibrates like an unseen bell. Pressure waves travel through its layers, a deep, endless music, beyond the hearing of ears, but not beyond the knowing of the mind. Scientists call this heliosismology, a way of listening to the star's interior through its tremors. If you could translate the sun's song into sound, it would be a low rolling hum, a vibration of warmth that never truly stops. It's the same light that takes 8 long minutes to reach your skin, the same warmth that wakes ocean's trees, and the quiet pulse beneath your own ribs. Somewhere near that blazing lantern, Mercury orbits quickly, as if trying to stay close before slipping too far. Its path helped prove the bending of space-time, the way gravity itself curves light and motion. Einstein's equations described it perfectly, decades before spacecraft ever traced those same lines. Mercury's dance, so small and scorched, became proof that even the smallest planet holds part of the universe's secret grammar. Its iron heart is far larger than it should be, a metal core that takes up most of the planet's body, a relic of cosmic violence or closeness to the sun's forging heat. Every orbit it completes is a soft echo of both mystery and mathematics. And when you drift outward again, Venus greets you with quiet fire, a world wrapped in mirrors so bright it can cast a shadow on Earth, yet hidden beneath that glow is a sky of acid and endless cloud. It has no moons, no magnetic field, no easy rhythm. Its air presses down like an ocean of gas, and heat gathers until it glows red through the haze. But this too is not chaos. It's a lesson in balance lost. Venus is what happens when sunlight cannot leave, when atmosphere becomes memory that refuses to fade. Her days crawl slower than her years. Her spin turns backward, a dancer moving against the tide of time. Still she shines the evening star, a reminder that beauty often endures where comfort cannot. Past the sun's warmth, Earth hums with gentler truth. It is the densest planet, the only one with moving continents, the only one with water in all three states, ice, liquid, and vapor, a perfect alchemy of distance and pressure. Its tectonic plates slide and meet, raising mountains, lowering seas, releasing and storing breath. This restless skin keeps the climate steady, letting oceans cycle, forests exhale, and snow return again and again. Beneath it, all molten iron flows, like heavy honey stirring up the invisible magnet that protects us from the solar wind. Without that field, we would be as bare as Mars, our air stripped away, our seas unstitched. It is a shield of motion, a gift of liquid fire. And there, orbiting faithfully, is our moon. Unusually large for the planet, it serves, born of impact and collision, a child made from fragments of catastrophe. It pulls at our oceans, sculpting tides and rhythms, slowing the planet's spin bit by bit. It is leaving us slowly, a few centimeters each year, but the leaving is gentle. In the far future, when eclipses fade into half shadows, the moon will still circle, still glow, still be part of us. Even its silence is full of quakes, tiny tremors that last longer than ours. Without wind or water to erase them, every footprint on its dust still waits exactly where it was placed. The moon does not forget. Now, look outward again. Mars, dusty and red, still holds the memory of rivers that once ran across its skin. Dust storms roam the planet like wandering thoughts, wrapping the globe for months at a time, muting its sunlight until even machines fall asleep. The planet has volcanoes that rise 3 times higher than Everest, and a canyon so wide it could span a continent. Its seasons, like ours, come and go in cycles, slower, colder, but familiar. Once Mars may have known water as we do. Perhaps under the rust and silence, some trace still remains. Farther still, the gas giants take over worlds too massive for rock, too restless for solid ground. Jupiter, the stormkeeper, spins so quickly that a day lasts less than 10 hours. Its great red spot, a storm larger than our world, has raged for centuries, shrinking now, but still alive, a crimson eye swirling in perpetual motion. Jupiter glows from within, giving off more heat than it receives its deep layers, compressing under gravity's invisible hand. And around it, a family of moons over 90, now each one a world of its own. Io, alive with fire, flings molten sulfur into the black. Europa hides an ocean under its cracked ice, its tides stirred by Jupiter's pull. Ganymede carries a magnetic field of its own, glowing with auroras across its frozen face. Callisto, ancient and cratered, may also hold a secret sea beneath its calm crust. In their orbits, these moons make music harmonics of gravity, drawn tight and precise, a symphony of frozen worlds that hum in the deep. Saturn waits nearby, beautiful and temporary, its rings broad as a planet, but thinner than a city block, shimmer like powdered glass caught in sunlight. Made mostly of ice, some pieces smaller than snowflakes, some the size of houses, they swirl in quiet order, guided by tiny shepherd moons. Each loop, each gap, each wave in the ring has a reason, a story of pull and resistance, of gravity teaching matter how to sing. But the rings are young, maybe no older than the first forests on Earth, and already they are falling, raining down in icy whispers. 1 billion years from now they may be gone, only memories of light that once circled beauty. Saturn's poles spin strange shapes into its clouds, a perfect hexagon at the north, vast enough to hold Earth inside, rotating endlessly, like geometry made of wind. It too has storms, but their tempests are velvet, slow-moving, hypnotic thunder heard in a dream. Drift a little further to Uranus, pale, tilted, quiet. It rolls around the sun on its side, its poles taking turns basking in light for decades before falling back into darkness. Each pole sees 42 years of day, then 42 of night, as if time there moves in long exhalations. 13 faint rings spin around it, vertical and shadowed, discovered only when they blotted the light of a distant star. Deep below, pressure crushes carbon into diamond rain falling toward a hidden core. A sideways world strange and serene, still following the same old sun. And beyond it, Neptune, darker, bluer, fierce. Its winds break the sound barrier. Its storms appear and vanish like memories. The planet radiates more heat than it receives, a paradox of cold that burns inside. Its largest moon, Triton, orbits backward, proof of capture and collision, its cryovolcanoes sending plumes of frozen nitrogen into the sky. Neptune was once only an equation, a ghost written in the motion of another planet found first on paper and then in glass. Even discovery can be quiet. Past Neptune, the light thins and the sun becomes a distant star. Here lies Pluto, small, distant, heart-shaped. Its surface breathes a fragile atmosphere that comes and goes, frost melting into sky and freezing again over centuries. Beneath that pale crust may lie an ocean kept liquid by warmth from within an impossible secret in a frozen world. And beyond Pluto, the Kuiper Belt, a garden of icy worlds that gleam like cold mirrors. Haumea spins itself into an oval of crystal. Eris reflects more sunlight than snow. Even farther still, perhaps the Oort cloud, a vast halo of comets sleeping in darkness, the outermost whisper of the sun's reach. If you could see the whole solar system from above, it would look less like a clock and more like a dream, slow-moving rings of light and shadow, a choreography of patience. Gravity does not rush, it persuades. And everything from the smallest pebble to the largest planet is bound in the same invisible music. The Parker Solar Probe now dips into the sun's own breath, a human-made ember flying faster than anything before it tasting the edge of the corona. Its heat shield glows, but holds. Through it, we learn why the sun's outer layers blaze hotter than its surface, why light moves the way it does, why the star's pulse reaches so far. From Earth, the Hubble telescope watches the same dance, capturing storms on Neptune dust, on Mars auroras over Saturn. Proof that observation can be reverence. Each photograph is a prayer written in pixels. And even now, twin Voyagers drift farther still. Voyager 1 and 2, launched decades ago, have left the sun's domain, entering interstellar space, that invisible frontier where the solar wind gives way to the galactic sea. They carry a golden record etched with music and greetings. Sounds of laughter rain and waves a message for whoever may listen in the dark. Each faint signal they send home takes more than 20 hours to arrive. When you look up at the stars, one of them is out there still whispering data from the edge of everything. There in the deep, the solar system's breath fades into the broader silence of the galaxy. The planets continue in their slow, certain turns. The sun still hums. The comets still wait for a call that may never come. And you, small and infinite, are part of that same motion made from the same atoms that once burned in stars, cooled into dust, rose into oceans, and learned to wonder. We are not at the end. The story doesn't close, it simply opens wider. The night is still moving. Somewhere ahead, another story waits to unfold. The silence widens and we follow. Our orbit continues, not by movement of body, but by thought, a slow drift through the universe's quiet lungs. Each breath you take is a small echo of cosmic rhythm. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, return. It's the same rhythm that shaped stars, the same rhythm that guides the planets now turning in their patient loops. The solar system, seen from the distance of imagination, feels almost still yet. Nothing within it ever truly stops. Even what seems motionless is slowly changing rings, dissolving moons, wandering light, stretching itself thinner as it travels outward. Every moment is ancient, and every fact a lullaby for the waiting dark. Let's drift closer again, back toward the warmth of the familiar star. In its deep heart, the sun's temperature soars above 15 million degrees. There, hydrogen fuses into helium, an unending birth that releases light and heat. Each photon born in that furnace spends hundreds of thousands of years bouncing through plasma before finally escaping into open space, crossing 150 million kilometers in just over 8 minutes to touch your skin. When you feel sunlight, you are feeling the past, a soft shimmer from an energy that began its journey before humankind had a name for time. And within that light, everything we know is possible. The sun's surface, the photosphere, burns at around 5,500 degrees, but above it, the corona blazes 100 times hotter. A paradox of fire, the outer layers more intense than the core's touch. Magnetic waves and flares send arcs of plasma into space, painting invisible storms that sometimes reach our sky as auroras. Each solar cycle lasts 11 years, a breathing pattern of magnetic reversal. North becomes south, south becomes north, and the pulse begins again. During its peaks, the sun becomes restless spots, flares and coronal mass ejections brightening the canvas of space. Yet even at its most furious, it shines with the patience of eternity. Our Earth orbits within that glow, sheltered by its magnetosphere, a bubble of protection that bends solar wind away. Without it, the air would fade, the oceans would thin, the sky would empty. Instead, we live inside a quiet miracle of balance. At the poles, that same magnetic shield lets charged particles dance in curtains of color, auroras, green, red, violet, cosmic breath turned visible. If you've ever seen them, you know they move like thoughts just before sleep, slow, glowing, ungraspable. The story of our world does not end with protection. It continues in motion. The Earth leans 23.5 degrees, a tilt that gifts us seasons. When one hemisphere bows toward the sun, light lingers, days lengthen, warmth settles into soil. When it leans away, the air grows blue with distance and night arrives earlier. This tilt, gentle and constant, shapes every migration, every blooming, every sleeping seed. It is the planet's small act of generosity, sharing time between summer and snow. The moon pulls softly at our oceans, its gravity creating bulges that move with the turning Earth. Every high tide and low tide is a conversation between planet and companion, an ancient language of push and yield. These same forces stretch the planet's crust, lengthening our days imperceptibly. Billions of years ago, days lasted only a few hours. The moon was closer, larger, brighter. Now it drifts away 3.8 centimeters each year, a departure so slow we feel it only as time itself getting longer. Out beyond the moon's reach, the asteroids whisper history. Most of the belt between Mars and Jupiter is empty space, but within that stillness float remnants of creation shards of a planet that never formed. Ceres, the roundest among them, carries bright patches of salt remnants of briny water, once hidden below its surface. Vesta, nearly as large, shows layers like a miniature Earth crust mantle, core proof that even small worlds can once burn with heat. The rest are rubble piles and drifting stones, some solitary, some with tiny moons orbiting them like devoted shadows. If you passed through this region in a ship of thought, you could travel for days before meeting another rock. The vastness is what keeps them safe. Beyond the asteroids lies Jupiter again, its gravity a sculptor of everything nearby. Even its magnetosphere stretches millions of kilometers, vast enough to make the sun look small. Inside it, radiation swirls in invisible waves, strong enough to melt circuits and etch stories into ice. And yet, for all its danger, Jupiter is a kind of guardian catching asteroids, pulling comets off their paths, protecting the inner worlds from too many collisions. It is the solar system's quiet sentinel, enormous and gentle, its storms a kind of art. The great red spot. Centuries old, spins still smaller now, but alive like an ancient eye refusing to close. Around it, bands of clouds stream in the opposite directions, brown, white, amber, a planet made entirely of weather. Saturn follows, wrapped in light and memory. Its rings, though fleeting, define it, bright, fragile, mathematically perfect. But the rings are not one piece. They are countless billions of fragments, frozen reflections moving together. Some are shepherded by moons, like Pan and Daphnis, which carve narrow gaps through gravity's pull. Others drift freely, colliding and reforming in endless renewal. They say the rings are younger than the dinosaurs, born of ice shattered from moons that once were whole. And though they'll vanish someday, they remind us that even impermanence can be beautiful. Among Saturn's many moons, one hides a secret ocean. Enceladus, small and bright, spews water and vapor through cracks near its south pole. Geysers rising into space, glittering as they fall. Inside, tidal heat keeps a sea alive, salted and stirred. The Cassini spacecraft once flew through those plumes and tasted their composition, water salts, organics, the ingredients of life. Every eruption is a message written in mist. Nearby, Titan carries lakes, not of water, but methane rivers, and rains of liquid gas flowing over frozen land. It is the only moon with thick air, a sky of golden haze. Under that strange weather, there may be another ocean of liquid water, hidden deep below, waiting in silence. Further outward, Uranus leans on its side, a giant rolling along its path. Its seasons last decades. Its storms bloom and fade slowly, like thoughts in deep sleep. The planet's faint rings shimmer against darkness, narrow and sharp, discovered when they briefly blocked the light of a distant star. Here too, diamonds may fall through hydrogen skies, a rain no eye has ever seen. Its coldness is not absence. It is stillness perfected. Neptune, farthest of the known worlds, defies distance with energy. It sends more heat outward than it takes in a mysterious reserve burning within. Its winds are the fastest known anywhere, tearing through the blue haze faster than sound, stirring storms the size of continents. The planet's moon Triton orbits backward, proof it came from elsewhere, a wanderer captured, reshaped, made part of a new family. Triton breathes frost and ice into the void, its cryovolcanoes exhaling like sighs of forgotten seas. And beyond Neptune's faint light, the solar system continues, not ending, only thinning. The Kuiper belt stretches wide, full of frozen worlds, spinning in slow isolation. Some, like Haumea and Eris, reflect sunlight with mirror-like clarity. Others tumble irregularly, half rock, half ice relics from the solar system's dawn. Pluto drifts among them, its heart-shaped plane glowing faintly beneath nitrogen skies. As it circles, its atmosphere breathes, forming when sunlight nears, freezing back into frost when the long night returns. Its pulse is 248, Earth years long, a heartbeat in cosmic time. Still farther lies the imagined Oort cloud, a vast sphere of icy debris, almost a light year away, marking the edge of the sun's reach. From there, comets are born dislodged by passing stars or galactic tides. They travel for millennia, falling toward the sun until they glow their tails, always pointing away from the light, never behind. Each one is a message from the outskirts, a spark from the boundary between belonging and beyond. The solar system itself moves through the galaxy, not still, but sailing. We travel through a region called the local interstellar cloud, part of a larger bubble, sculpted by ancient supernovae. The entire system drifts at about 7,000 kilometers per hour, and yet we feel nothing. Inside the heliosphere, that magnetic bubble blown by the solar wind, we remain protected, wrapped in our star's invisible breath. Its edge, the heliopause, marks where solar influence fades and the galaxy's begins. Voyager 1 crossed it in 2012. Voyager 2 6 years later, both still speaking faint voices calling home from billions of kilometers away. They measure cosmic rays, magnetic fields, the silence itself. Each whisper takes 20 hours to arrive. Their golden records still turn slowly, carrying greetings. Laughter rain, proof that even in infinite night, we tried to say hello. The solar system has an age 4.6 billion years, but time here does not feel like counting. It feels like drifting. We orbit the Milky Way every 225 million years, circling the galactic center like a speck of dust in a slow dance. Everything we know, sun, planets, comets, clouds, rides together in that long spiral journey. We've made only 20 revolutions since life began, less than one since the first dinosaurs walked. Each cosmic year is a breath of eternity. The night stretches on, soft and patient. The sun hums. The planets turn. And through it all, gravity keeps its promise, not a force, but a kind of belonging, a reminder that nothing drifts alone. Somewhere, another comet is waking from centuries of sleep. Somewhere, a dust storm begins to stir on Mars. Somewhere, a plume erupts from Enceladus, glittering for a moment before freezing into Saturn's rings. And somewhere, Voyager drifts past the last whisper of sunlight, carrying our memory through the dark. The story doesn't end, it only deepens. The dream deepens softly, endlessly. We are still drifting through the great hush between planets, through the dark that is not empty, but full of quiet conversations between light and dust. Every orbit hums its own note, every moon a soft chime, every ring's a sigh caught in motion. Even silence here has a texture fine as powdered ice layered with distance. Far from the warmth of the sun, we watch time unfold differently. Light slowed by scale takes hours to reach the outer worlds. A sunrise on Neptune is not a burst of gold, but a faint turning of indigo, a whisper of illumination that spreads like smoke across blue methane clouds. Seasons there last longer than human history. Each storm, each swirl of vapor becomes an epoch an act of patience. In this vastness, even change is slow enough to sleep through. Let's return one more time to the inner worlds, to the places where heat and gravity still speak in fire. There Mercury blazes in and out of sunlight, its days hot enough to melt lead, its nights colder than shadows thought. And yet, in the darkness of polar craters, ice endures ancient, preserved for eons in pockets where sunlight has never stepped. It's a quiet paradox, the first of many in this cosmic poem, the hottest planet hiding cold, the smallest holding secrets of survival. Venus follows, wrapped in cloud and silence. No magnetic shield, no moon to share its orbit, no wind that truly cools. Its sky presses down with 100 times Earth's air. Its surface glows dimly through the haze. But once, long ago, Venus might have been kind, perhaps, with oceans, with rain, with air you could breathe. Now only heat remains a reminder that beauty can burn, that even a twin can take another path. Above its golden storms, lightning flashes unseen, lighting clouds that will never rain. Even ruin can shimmer. Mars spins next, its deserts bright with rust. In its canyons, dust whispers through thin air. It has seasons, winter hoarfrost at its poles, summer dust devils that wander for miles. Each year is twice as long as ours. Each sunset a slow red sigh. Mountains rise beyond comprehension, volcanoes sleeping under frost. Beneath the crust, perhaps frozen lakes, the echo of water that once carved its plains. To gaze at Mars is to see both memory and hope, a planet paused between what was and what might return. Then Earth, a miracle of noise and rest of motion and pause. We float through its thin blue atmosphere, tracing the line between ocean and sky. Here, water is a restless artist, freezing, flowing, vanishing, returning. Ice caps breathe with the seasons, clouds wander, rivers remember their old paths. Tectonic plates shift beneath us, mountains rise and crumble, valleys form and fade. And yet, the balance holds too close to the sun, and the sea would boil. Too far, and it would sleep beneath ice. This middle ground, the Goldilocks zone scientists call it, is where warmth and coolness agree to coexist. It is the single, fragile truth that lets life unfold. Earth's magnetosphere curves like a guardian's arm, deflecting radiation, shaping auroras, keeping air where it belongs. And high above, satellites circle like metallic moons, listening and watching reflections of curiosity itself. One of them, the Hubble Space Telescope, peers outward through the dark. From Earth's shadow, it sees the weather of other worlds, Jupiter's changing stripes, Neptune's tempests, Saturn's drifting storms. Its photographs show not just color, but time, how planets breathe, how storms evolve, how beauty endures in silence. Hubble watches so we can dream accurately. Beyond the warmth of home, the asteroid belt spins like a broken clock, its pieces separated by wide, gentle emptiness. Most asteroids will never touch, never collide. They are spread too thin, like memories scattered across a distance. Ceres glows softly among them, bright spots of salt gleaming on its surface, remnants of water that rose and vanished. Vesta's scars reveal its molten past, its layers once churned like a small planet's heart. Even rubble piles, loose stones held by nothing but shared gravity, tell a story of creation interrupted. What could have been a world became a field of fragments, but even fragments can orbit gracefully. Drift now toward Jupiter again, vast, protective, unignorable. It's not just a planet, but a small system unto itself. Its moons are worlds. Its storms are continents. Its gravity keeps order in the outer solar system, pulling and protecting all that drifts too close. Io boils with fire erupting sulfur that paints its skin in yellows and reds. Europa lies still, but restless, cracked with ice that shifts, creaks, sighs. Underneath, an ocean dark and deep, warmed by the pull of Jupiter's gravity. If life exists elsewhere nearby, it might live there unseen, luminous beneath frozen seas. Ganymede carries a magnetic field of its own, glowing faintly where Jupiter's energy brushes its poles. Callisto drifts farther out, cratered, ancient, quiet. Each moon holds a different reflection of its parent's power: heat, magnetism, tide, silence. Beyond, Saturn turns like a dream within a dream. Its rings, thin as breath, are made of ice, older than continents, younger than mountains. They will fade eventually, raining into the planet they orbit, vanishing like snow into sea. But for now, they shimmer a halo, made visible an idea you can almost touch. Among its moons, Enceladus sings through its plumes, jets of vapor that feed Saturn's faint E-ring. Inside, a liquid ocean whispers against rock warmed by the flexing of tides. Cassini flew through that water and found traces of salt of heat of chemistry that could one day wake to life. Titan, larger than Mercury, spins under a sky of gold. Lakes of methane ripple on its surface. Clouds drift above frozen dunes. Rain falls slowly, returning to rivers, to seize a cold mimicry of the water cycle we know. If you walked there, your feet would crunch on ice that is not ice. Your breath would turn to crystal before falling at your feet. It is alien, but somehow familiar. A dream of Earth written in another alphabet. Uranus, turned sideways, rolls along its orbit like a sleeping giant. Its poles point almost directly toward the sun, trading light, and dark in stretches of 40 years. Its atmosphere is pale and secretive, its storms quiet and far. 13 faint rings circle it like whispers. Discovered by accident, a flicker of starlight that dimmed and returned. Deep below, its calm carbon becomes diamond rain, falling endlessly, glittering invisibly toward the core. Imagine that an entire world where gemstones fall like drizzle. Neptune, further still, is wilder. Winds there break the speed of sound, screaming through sapphire clouds that no ear can hear. Storms appear, fade, and reappear elsewhere as if the planet is breathing in weather. Its heart radiates warmth even in the coldest dark. Triton, its captured moon, moves in defiance, orbiting backward, venting nitrogen plumes that freeze in midair. It was not born of Neptune, but was adopted by it, perhaps taken from the Kuiper Belt long ago. Now, it circles its new home in reverse, a quiet exile turned companion. Past that Pluto, small but beloved, still orbiting faithfully. Its heart-shaped plane reflects a faint sunlight that takes 5 hours to arrive. Sometimes it travels closer to the sun than Neptune, sometimes farther. But their orbits never cross, locked in a perfect resonance, a slow gravitational dance that prevents collision. For every 3 orbits Neptune completes, Pluto makes 2, a harmony of movement that will last until the stars fade. Beneath Pluto's ice, a liquid ocean may still move, kept alive by pressure and time. Even in darkness, warmth persists. Farther still, the Kuiper Belt, a scattered ring of ancient ice. It is full of dwarf planets, small worlds that never grew up. Haumea spins so quickly that it stretches into an oval, its icy surface glittering like crystal. Eris gleams brighter than snow, so reflective it almost disappears against the sunlight. Makemake and others drift nearby, silent, distant, untouched since the solar system's birth. They are the archives of creation preserving the chemistry of beginnings. Beyond the Kuiper belt lies the Oort cloud, a sphere so vast it may stretch a light year away. It's not a place we've seen, only a place we know must be. The birthplace of comets, a reservoir of icy wanderers. When a star passes close, or a galactic wave stirs its edge, a few of those icy bodies awaken, falling inward on long, looping paths. They light up when they near the sun, glowing tails always pointed away from it, never behind. A comet's journey is an act of surrender, centuries of darkness followed by a brief and beautiful burning. Then it sleeps again. The solar system is not alone in its motion. It sails through a larger sea, the galaxy itself. We move through the local interstellar cloud, a thin fog of dust and gas shaped by long-ago supernovas. The sun's wind keeps that fog at bay, forming the heliosphere, a magnetic bubble that shields all within. At its edge, where the solar wind meets the galaxy's pressure, lies the heliopause, the border where the sun's breath stops. Voyager 1 crossed it first in 2012, followed by Voyager 2 6 years later. Both now send faint signals home, carrying whispers of cosmic rays and the density of space. Their power wanes, but they still speak emissaries of humanity adrift between stars. Each carries a golden record engraved with greetings music and the sounds of life, rain, laughter, heartbeats. Somewhere beyond the sun's final light, they travel, still turning silently, carrying our hello through the infinite night. And as they drift, so do we smaller travelers in the same grand current. Our solar system moves around the Milky Way every 225 million years. We've circled it fewer than 20 times since life began, fewer than once since dinosaurs walked. We're riding a spiral arm of stars orbiting the galaxy's center at over 800,000 kilometers per hour. And yet, to us, it feels still. That is the scale of peace in motion. Back home on Earth, we sleep beneath a sky that glows with starlight from the past. The constellations are our neighbors' lanterns, their warmth arriving late but not lost. When you look up, you are seeing history, the slow light of suns long gone, the echo of fusion still unfolding across distance. The Milky Way itself arches overhead, a river of dust and flame, a reminder that we are not observers of the cosmos. We are its continuation. The same atoms that shine in the sun are in your breath, your bones, your heartbeat. You are made of stars, and so is the silence around you. And so, the dream does not close. It only widens. The planets still turn. The sun still hums. The light still travels. We drift onward, softly, endlessly. The silence expands like breath, and we follow it deeper, slower. Out here, time doesn't move in hours or days. It stretches rippling like starlight on dark water. Everything orbits something else. Everything belongs to gravity's hush. We're floating inside a grand, unhurried clock whose ticking can't be heard, only felt. The sun, patient and bright, holds it all together. 99.8% of the solar system's mass rests within that single star. Planets, moons, comets, even the smallest grains of dust all drift within its reach. Each is a story, a word in a sentence the sun keeps writing in light. Every orbit, every revolution is punctuation, a pause, a return, a continuation. We begin again what we always do with light. Sunlight born from fusion deep within escapes the surface and spills outward in every direction. It warms Mars, glints off Saturn's rings, grazes Pluto's heart, and finally fades into the cold sea of interstellar space. That same light touches oceans and eyelashes, reflects off snow and glass, and powers every leaf that ever opened. The light we see is ancient, but it feels new, the same way dawn always feels like the first one. Even the sunlight that leaves Earth carries memory. It moves through the heliosphere, the invisible bubble blown by solar wind, a stream of charged particles spiraling outward, wrapping the planets in a magnetic cocoon. At its edge, the heliopause waits where the solar wind slows and gives way to the galaxy's breath. Beyond that, the stars whisper in frequencies our instruments barely catch. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 have crossed this border, tiny messengers drifting through the cold. They are slower than time, faster than memory, still speaking, still traveling their golden records, turning like promises in the dark. Each record carries a greeting, soft and human. Hello in 55 languages, the sound of wind of thunder of a kiss on a cheek, a mother's voice, a child laughing. Music, Bach, Beethoven, and Chuck Berry spinning endlessly through interstellar silence. The Voyagers are not just machines. They are lullabies sent outward singing of oceans and air to places that have never known either. And still closer to home motion continues. The planets do not wait for us to listen. Mercury races in its tight orbit, completing a year in just 88 Earth days. Venus spins slowly, its day longer than its year. Its clouds dense and golden, its heat unbearable but constant. Earth turns with a gentle tilt, its moon tugging at the seas, lengthening our days grain by grain. Mars follows with grace, rusty and thin-aired, wearing canyons and mountains like stories carved into skin. Then Jupiter, immense and steady at storms, folding centuries into color. Saturn follows, ringed with reflections. Uranus rolls sideways, its seasons unending. Neptune, blue and whispering, turns last, a quiet breath before the cold of the Kuiper Belt begins. Every one of them, even now, is still there, circling, swaying, humming. Let's pause and listen again to Earth. Its water moves through a cycle older than language clouds form fall, as rain flow, as rivers freeze as ice and begin again. Each molecule might have been part of a glacier once, or a wave, or the tear of a creature long forgotten. It's not just water, it's the memory of time itself. And deep within Earth's molten core motion continues liquid iron swirling, generating a magnetic shield that bends radiation, shaping auroras, protecting life. You don't see it, but you live inside its shelter every moment. Without it, the air would slip away like steam. From above in orbit, Earth glows faintly blue, the color of peace at a distance. The moon circles it, faithfully bright and still. Each month, its phases shift through dark and silver wax, and wane a rhythm that tides and hearts both seem to remember. The moon's pull creates bulges in the ocean, drawing the sea up and letting it fall back. It lengthens our days slowly, century by century. One day, billions of years from now, when the moon has drifted far enough, total eclipses will vanish, replaced by partial shadows that never fully align. Even that loss will happen gently. The sun's surface, meanwhile, is a living storm. Magnetic loops twist and tangle. Dark spots bloom and fade. Every 11 years, its poles reverse. North becoming south, south becoming north. A magnetic breath that stirs the entire solar system. Solar flares burst outward, sometimes reaching Earth-lighting auroras, nudging satellites bending radio waves. These are not dangers. They're reminders that we live in the halo of a living star, and even stars in their own way breathe. Over time, the sun's breath changes everything. It will burn its hydrogen until there's none left to feed the fire. Then, billions of years from now, it will swell into a red giant, a star so vast it will swallow Mercury, Venus, perhaps even Earth. Its light will redden, soften, stretch across the void. Then it will shed its outer layers, revealing its core, a white dwarf, a diamond heart glowing with leftover warmth. It will cool for trillions of years until it fades to black, until memory itself forgets the word light. But we will not see that. We are here now in the golden middle, the sun's long, stable age, the calm hour of the cosmic day. It is enough. The planets, too, change. Saturn's rings are raining ice falling into the planet's upper atmosphere, drawn downward by gravity's patient hand. Jupiter's great red spot. The centuries-old storm is shrinking, its edges softening. Mars's atmosphere grows thinner with time, its dust settling a little deeper. The moon drifts away, Earth's rotation slows. Even the smallest asteroid slowly shifts its orbit as sunlight pushes against it. The solar system is never still. It just changes too slowly for the human heartbeat to notice. And beyond all this movement, beyond the Kuiper Belt, beyond the Oort cloud, the galaxy stretches on. Our solar system orbits the Milky Way's center, taking 225 million years for one revolution. We are passengers on a vast spiral arm weaving through dust, gas, and stars. Above us, the galactic plane glows faintly in the night sky, the Milky Way a silver river made of hundreds of billions of suns. We have seen so little of it. Our radio waves have reached only a few hundred light years a whisper in a cathedral of light. And yet, the whisper matters. In the scale of the cosmos, even silence listens. Somewhere in that silence, new stars are forming, clouds of hydrogen, collapsing, heating, igniting. Around them, disks of dust are already beginning to swirl, colliding, clumping, spinning into new worlds. Perhaps one day, a traveler from those far systems will find Voyager's golden record, hear the laughter, the music, the sound of waves, and understand that once long ago we looked outward and sang. The night is not empty, it's just vast. Every planet, every comet, every drifting particle of dust belongs to the same story, the slow, unending unfolding of matter and light. And within it, you too are part of the orbit. Your breath, your heartbeat, your stillness all echo the same rhythm as the tides, as the planets, as the stars. You are the universe aware of itself for a moment. And that moment, brief as it is infinite. The dream continues. It doesn't end. It simply drifts further outward, past the edge of sound, past the reach of light, where the stars hum softly and time forgets to measure itself. We float there, quiet, weightless, infinite, inside the slow turning of everything. And so the silence widens and we follow. We keep following, weightless, thoughtless, dreambound, as the darkness unfolds like velvet around us. It is not empty here. It is full of faint songs, particles crossing light, bending memory, moving through dust. The solar system hums softly behind us, now a cradle glowing in the far distance. Every world we passed, each planet, each moon, each quiet stone still turns still, whispers its last slow syllable of orbit. The farther we drift, the more everything seems to blur together. Light becomes time. Time becomes breath. If you could listen closely enough, you would hear the Milky Way breathing a long, slow rhythm. Billions of years between inhalations. We are part of that exhale now, carried outward by motion older than thought. Somewhere far away, the sun's last gust of solar wind thins into silence. The heliosphere ends, and the interstellar medium begins a region of space filled with traces of what once were stars. Hydrogen helium, a scattering of cosmic dust, the ashes of galaxies mingling in infinite night. The solar system is still there behind us, a lantern hung in a field of dark, small but unwavering. We drift through the local interstellar cloud, a faint mist of gas and memory, 30 light-years wide. This cloud, and the larger local bubble around it, was sculpted by ancient supernovae, their shock waves hollowing space like wind-carving dunes. Even here, where nothing seems to move, we are in motion, the sun sailing through this cosmic fog at 7,000 kilometers per hour. Yet there is no wind, no pressure, no feeling of speed. It is pure stillness, pure drift. The Voyagers are here too, though far apart. Tiny, persistent beacons, their instruments still faintly warm their hearts, still powered by the slow decay of plutonium. They send data back across billions of kilometers, soft radio pulses carrying the story of the space between stars. Each message takes over 20 hours to reach Earth, traveling through the same silence that we now imagine ourselves inside. Those signals are weaker than whispers, but they are caught and translated proof that even in endless night, our voice endures. On their golden records, the sound of a baby's cry still spins. A kiss, a thunderstorm, the song of a nightingale, music from Bach and Mozart, greetings in ancient and modern tongues, the heartbeat of Earth forever leaving, forever arriving. The records will last longer than our sun, longer than our oceans, longer than a memory. They are the closest thing we've made to eternity. Far behind them, the solar system remains alive with movement. Jupiter's storms still turn. Saturn's rings still rain. Enceladus still sends its geysers into space, glittering in the cold. The moon still drifts slowly away, and Earth's tides still rise and fall, patient as breathing. Every one of those motions, every rotation, is a repetition of the same cosmic pattern attraction. Release, return. We are bound to it too. Our sleep, our pulse, our seasons all follow that ancient rhythm. The pull of the moon, the tilt of the planet, the angle of the sun, each one reshaping the quiet geography of your inner life. You are, without noticing, always moving with the stars. The cells of your body carry the same elements found in nebulae iron. From the hearts of dead suns, calcium. From old explosions, carbon spun from stellar fire. You are a constellation disguised as a person. The night widens as we travel further into the imagination. Here beyond even Voyager, we cross the region where the Oort cloud is thought to be a vast sphere of icy debris, stretching nearly a light year in every direction. Each speck of ice is a relic of creation, a fragment of the same dust that formed the planets. Some are tiny, others are mountain-sized. They wait in darkness for millions, even billions of years, until a passing star or galactic tide nudges them, sending them falling inward. Then they awaken as comets glowing briefly before vanishing again. They are the solar system's memories frozen and patient, waiting to be remembered. From here, the Sun looks like any other star, a single spark among thousands. Its planets are invisible, its rings too small to see its voice, reduced to a faint shimmer of electromagnetic hum. And yet, all of this, everything we've known, is bound to that tiny flame. Its light birthed every tree, every ocean, every word ever spoken in warmth. It is both ordinary and sacred, a reminder that life, however fragile, comes from fire. We look outward now toward the greater spiral of the Milky Way. Our solar system is one of hundreds of billions circling the galactic center, a black hole around which everything dances in perfect slowness. It takes us 225 million years to make a single orbit a galactic year. In the time since Earth formed, we have completed only 20 trips around that center. Dinosaurs saw one revolution. Humankind exists in the first heartbeat of the next. Every revolution through the galaxy rewrites the night sky, moving the constellations, shifting the stories we tell. Nothing stands still, not even forever. The galaxy itself is not static either. Its arms drift and stretch, its stars move in slow rivers. We travel through them unaware the same way a leaf rides a current it cannot see. Sometimes we pass through regions dense with dust, other times through clean corridors of starlight. The heliosphere changes shape as we go bending to the pressure of these invisible tides. Even the silence has motion. And beyond the Milky Way, more galaxies, billions of them each, with its own suns and storms, its own moons and rings and restless winds. Each one perhaps carrying its own sleepy fax voices, whispering knowledge in the dark, helping someone far away drift gently to sleep while learning how light moves. Perhaps out there, another species wonders what lies beyond their last planet and sends a small craft outward, hoping that someone someday will listen. Perhaps one night, their music will meet ours. Two lullabies crossing in the dark, harmonizing for a moment before drifting apart again. We are part of that harmony. Every orbit, every word, every quiet heartbeat joins the same cosmic song. It does not matter how small the note or how brief the music is unending. The sun hums, the planets breathe the moon's echo, and through it all, the universe expands, carrying everything outward into a silence that feels more like peace than absence. Back toward the faint glow of home Earth still turns beneath the clouds. Somewhere it's dawn, somewhere else midnight. Tides rise, auroras flicker, people dream. In every sleep, there is a trace of this motion, the comfort of repetition, the rhythm of gravity, the assurance that while we rest, the world keeps spinning gently on its way. There is no final edge, only the soft curve of continuation. Each orbit is a circle without an end. Each night gives birth to morning. Each silence contains the hum of what comes next. And so, we keep floating not away, but within, following the quiet geometry of time and light. The dream drifts deeper still. We keep drifting deeper into the slow-breathing dark, where distance loses its meaning and light becomes a kind of memory. The solar system lies far behind us now, no longer a series of planets, but a single thread of gold woven through the fabric of night. It is not fading. It is simply resting in perspective, folded into the greater quiet. Everywhere around us, stars burn like thoughts that never end. Some are newborns still shrouded in clouds of dust, glowing faintly in the womb of nebulae. Others are ancient, their light traveling for thousands of years to reach us, carrying the story of how they once shone. Between them stretches the interstellar dark, but even that darkness is not empty. It hums with invisible light, with radio waves, with the soft static of creation still unfolding. We pass through star nurseries, places like the Orion Nebula, where gravity gathers dust and gas into the first shapes of suns. The air, if it can be called that, is painted in slow color pink hydrogen blue, oxygen red sulfur. Each hue a whisper from atoms joining and parting, forming the foundations of new worlds. If you could listen closely enough, you'd hear not silence, but the slow crackle of beginnings. And far beyond those beginnings, scattered through the galaxy, countless solar systems like ours circle their own suns. Each one different, some with twin stars that rise together, some with frozen rings, some with worlds covered in storms, or oceans, or ice. Somewhere, perhaps, there are other skies filled with moons, other creatures that look up, wondering if they are alone. Perhaps they too fall asleep to the rhythm of rotation, the comfort of orbit, the hum of gravity beneath their dreams. Our own system, small as it seems, is a masterpiece of motion. Its planets turn not in isolation, but in harmony, each one influencing the others through invisible threads of pull and response. It's a choreography, written in gravity, performed in silence. Even the tiniest asteroid follows the same rules as the mightiest planet. Nothing drifts without connection. The asteroid belt itself is proof of this, a region that might once have formed another planet, but instead remained as fragments. Ceres. The largest gleams with traces of salt and ancient water. Vesta, scarred by impacts, reveals its molten heart from long ago. Others are rubble piles barely holding together, drifting as reminders of how creation often comes from imperfection. They are ruins of possibility, and yet they orbit beautifully, precisely, eternally. Past them, Jupiter still spins massive magnetic luminous. Its great red spot, that storm centuries old, continues to swirl, shrinking but unbroken. The planet radiates more heat than it receives, glowing from the inside out like an ember. Around it, moons dance, more than 90 of them, each a variation on wonder. Europa, whose icy crust hides an ocean. Ganymede, with its magnetic field and deep internal seas. Io, with its volcanoes flinging molten sulfur into space. These moons are worlds in their own right, bound by Jupiter's vast gravity, but alive with their own stories. Where the pull is strongest, so is the energy heat born from the stretch and strain of orbits, keeping their hidden oceans warm. Even in coldness, there is fire. Saturn follows a lord of light rings and long shadows. Its rings are impossibly thin, less than 100 meters thick in most places, yet they span hundreds of thousands of kilometers. They are made mostly of water ice, broken fragments of comets or moons, glowing like dust in morning sun. Through Cassini's eyes, we've seen them ripple, fade, rain. They will not last forever, perhaps another 100 million years. But for now, they remain the most delicate crown in the solar system. Among Saturn's moons, Titan still breathes its golden fog. Methane rains fall softly there, carving rivers and seas that mirror Earth's, but made of alien chemistry. Beneath its crust, an ocean of water and ammonia may stir, warmed by Saturn's pull. And Enceladus, tiny, brilliant Enceladus, still sprays water vapor into space, its plumes shining like glass in sunlight. That vapor feeds Saturn's E-ring, connecting moon and planet in a loop of eternal giving. Each geyser is an exhale of warmth from a world that should be frozen, but isn't. Farther still, Uranus rolls sideways through eternity, tilted so far it nearly lies on its back. Its rings are dim, its moons pale and quiet, its storms hidden beneath haze. And yet, deep within carbon may form diamonds that fall like rain, a silent cascade through blue clouds. A planet where the sky glitters in downward motion, where gravity sculpts jewels no one will ever see. Neptune, darker and deeper, hums with energy. Its winds race faster than sound. Its storms appear and vanish like thought. It radiates more heat than it receives, glowing faintly from within. Triton, its largest moon, orbits backward, proof of a capture. Long ago, a wanderer from the Kuiper belt taken in by Neptune's pull. Cryovolcanoes burst from its surface, sending ice and gas into the void. Even this far from the sun motion persists. Even here the story continues. Beyond Neptune, the solar system thins, but does not end. The Kuiper belt stretches out like a field of frozen whispers, home to dwarf planets like Pluto, Haumea, and Makemake. Their surfaces gleam with crystalline ice, their orbits slow and skewed, their sunlight faint and pale. Pluto, small and distant, still carries a beating heart, a bright frozen plain named Sputnik Planitia. Beneath that heart, scientists believe an ocean still moves. It may have stayed liquid for billions of years, insulated by nitrogen ice and quiet determination. Even at the edge of the sun's reach, warmth finds a way to remain. Further still, the Oort cloud begins a shell of comets that extends so far it blurs into interstellar space. It may hold trillions of icy bodies, each one a seed of light. When one is disturbed, it falls inward, igniting into a tail that always points away from the sun. The comet becomes a brief candle, melting, glowing, teaching us about beginnings by ending. Every flare of light we see in the sky might be a traveler returning from the edge, carrying the frozen breath of the early solar system. And when it leaves again, it takes with it a trace of us, a fragment of curiosity, a reflection in its light. Our telescopes follow it until it fades into the dark, until its glow becomes only an idea. But ideas, like comets, always return. So we drift here between orbits and memories, where space is vast but never empty. Every planet, every moon, every grain of dust is part of a grand conversation between light and gravity. Even silence has a direction, and that direction is forward. There is no edge to this dream, only layers of slower and slower motion, until movement itself feels like rest. The cosmos is not waiting for us to understand it. It is already singing. We only have to listen long enough and quietly enough to hear the music beneath the math. And so we keep floating. The dream doesn't end, it only deepens. The dream deepens, and with it a strange stillness unfolds, the kind that comes not from absence but from completion. The solar system has shown us its rings and storms, its frozen oceans and molten hearts, its quiet partnerships of rock and light. But even now, as we drift farther outward, we begin to sense that there is no true boundary here. Only fading warmth, only a thinning of light, only the long breath between stars. Far behind, the sun continues to hum a single bright pulse in an ocean of quiet. Its warmth stretches across billions of kilometers, growing softer, weaker, but never truly ending. It reaches Pluto like the memory of a campfire seen from miles away. And beyond Pluto, it continues still light that never stops traveling light, that will one day pass beyond even our galaxy's edge, carrying a story of where it came from. That story, if you listen, begins with dust. Before the sun, before the planets, before the notion of day or night, there was a cloud, a drifting sea of hydrogen and helium, speckled with fragments of older stars that had already lived and died. Those stars had once fused heavier elements in their cores carbon, iron, gold, and when they exploded, they scattered those materials like seeds. The cloud that became our solar system was rich with this debris. And then one day gravity stirred. Atoms began to gather. A center formed, growing hotter, heavier, brighter, until at last fusion began. A star was born. And around it, the leftover dust began to spin, flattening into a disk, colliding and clumping into planets. From that quiet violence, order emerged. From that order, beauty. The sun is therefore not just a light, it is a lineage. Every atom in your body has passed through stars before. You are made of ancient explosions of matter that once burned, cooled, drifted, and came together again. When you breathe, you are continuing that motion. When you sleep, you are participating in that same rest the universe takes between bursts of creation. Back among the planets, this legacy plays out in silence. Mercury, with its massive core, is like a fragment of the sun's metal heart. Venus glows under a thick shroud of cloud, its surface hot enough to melt, led a mirror of what Earth might have been had it stood a little closer. Earth itself is the balance between fire and water, gravity and freedom. Mars bears scars of water, long-gone valleys carved by rivers that once flowed mountains raised by a planet still trying to breathe. Jupiter protects them all, its immense gravity catching comets and asteroids before they can reach the inner worlds. Without Jupiter, Earth might never have known peace long enough for life to form. Saturn reflects the light of order, its rings arranged like music in orbit, each band in resonance with the next. They are delicate but disciplined, held together by invisible hands. Gravity, magnetism, time. Uranus and Neptune, blue and cold, complete the pattern worlds of methane and ice, silent but alive with storms. And beyond them, all the dwarf planets, the comets, the drifting remnants of what might have been still orbit the same sun. Even chaos has choreography. There are moments in this drifting when you can almost feel the pulse of it, all the way every planet, every particle, even every photon moves in harmony, tied together by gravity's song. It's not a tune we can hear, but one we can feel if we become still enough. Each orbit, each rotation, each flicker of aurora is a measure of that rhythm. You are surrounded by it, even now, the quiet music of existence, continuing note by note across billions of kilometers. And if you turn your thoughts back toward Earth, you realize the same pattern repeats in miniature. Tides move as moons move. Seasons follow the lean of a tilted axis. Auroras shimmer when solar wind brushes atmosphere. Every movement of light, every breath of wind is an echo of something larger. When the northern sky glows green, it is not just a color. It is the touch of the sun across 150 million kilometers, turned into poetry by magnetism and air. The world is a mirror of its star, and we mirrors of both. At night, when you stand beneath that sky, you are not looking up, you are looking out. You are gazing along the plane of a galaxy through dust, through time, through a field of stars so vast they outnumber every word ever spoken. Some of that light began its journey before humans existed, some before the Earth cooled. You are seeing the past made visible history carried by photons, and still it feels calm, it feels close. That is the paradox of the night sky. Infinity feels intimate. Beyond sight, the galaxy turns. The sun moves around its center like a passenger on a slow spiral current, carrying all its planets along for the ride. It takes over 200 million years to complete one orbit a galactic year. The last time we were here, the first mammals had just begun to stir on Earth. By the time we return, the continents will have drifted, the sky will have changed, and perhaps something new will look up and wonder. We are travelers on a ship that does not end, a vessel made of light and time, sailing through an ocean of gravity. Even the interstellar space between galaxies is not empty. There are rogue planets there, worlds without suns wandering eternally through dark. Some may still have warmth deep within, powered by radioactive decay or old tidal energy. Imagine oceans under black skies, waves lit only by the faint glow of their own cores. Even in exile, life might dream. Even in darkness, motion remains. All of this, from dust to diamond rain, from sunspot to aurora, is part of one ongoing breath. The universe expands, but not like an explosion, more like a sigh. Galaxies drift apart, not from force, but from release. Every second, more space is created, more silence into which light can wander. It is not emptiness growing, it is room for new stories. Perhaps one day when our sun fades and its light no longer reaches far, the Voyagers will still be out there. Their golden records spinning quietly, their music still traveling. Maybe some distant mind will find them and listen not with ears, but with understanding. And know that once, long ago, there was a small world that wanted to say hello. And perhaps that is the secret thread holding all of this together. Not gravity, not light, but curiosity. The impulse to reach, to wonder, to send something outward, just to see if someone somewhere might answer. Curiosity is the universe learning about itself. Through us, through you, through every question ever asked beneath the stars. And so, we keep floating, not toward an ending, but toward understanding that never stops unfolding. The silence grows, but it is not empty. It is full of meaning, waiting to be noticed. We drift onwards softly through the widening dark. And somewhere ahead, another story waits to be told. And so we drift onward, not away, but deeper into the calm where thought itself begins to dissolve into rhythm. There are no borders here, no edges to the dream. Only the soft pulse of existence, measured not in seconds or miles, but in quiet understanding. Behind us, the solar system glows like a memory suspended in amber. Each planet, each moon, each arc of light continues its patient revolution, obeying the same silent mathematics. Mercury still runs in circles around the sun like a restless spark. Venus still turns backward, its day longer than its year. Earth still breathes in light and exhales life. Mars still waits red and watchful for spring. Jupiter still sings in radio tones. Saturn still whispers in ice. Neptune still murmurs in wind. Even the smallest pebble beyond Pluto follows the same law: to orbit, to move, to return. Every one of them is part of the same motion, a grand stillness made of movement, an eternal cradle of turning. From the smallest moon to the largest sun, gravity holds them all like notes in a single infinite chord. And if you listen with the heart instead of the ear, you can almost hear it, the quiet hum of being. Somewhere inside that hum, Earth spins through another dawn. Clouds turn pink above oceans that glitter with the sun's slow touch. Mountains cast shadows like fingers reaching toward the morning. In cities, people wake and stretch, unaware that their planet has traveled 1,000,000 miles through space since they closed their eyes. Night turned to day, not just because of time, but because of orbit, because of movement through an endless field of light. We live quite literally inside a cosmic dance. Each breath you take is tied to that movement. Oxygen made by plants nourished by sunlight, rooted in soil born from stars. Your lungs are miniature galaxies of exchange, taking in what the universe gives, sending back what it needs to continue. Even your heartbeat is an orbit expanding, contracting, expanding again. The same rhythm that shapes moons and tides shapes you. You are not separate from the solar system. You are one of its quietest expressions. As we continue drifting outward past the Oort cloud, past the reach of even our sun's faintest breath, we enter true interstellar night. Here the only light comes from other suns, distant, patient, burning with colors beyond our eyes' understanding. Some of those stars are smaller than Jupiter, dim and steady. Others are giants burning blue and hot, their lives short but spectacular. Around them, planets swirl unseen, some rocky, some gaseous, some entirely water. Perhaps one of those worlds holds clouds that shine, or oceans that reflect a sky of two suns. Perhaps even now something there is looking up and wondering what lies beyond their last horizon. If they could see far enough, they might catch the faintest flicker of our sun. They would see it, not as we do, not as warmth or color, but as a single pin of brightness among countless others. And if they watched closely enough, they might notice a shimmer near it, the small reflection of a world with oceans and air. Our world, a fragile blue sigh in the dark. It humbles the mind, doesn't it? That all of human history, every sunrise and every dream, happens on a speck smaller than dust in the endlessness of night. And yet, the more you see the scale, the more miraculous the smallness becomes. Because somehow inside this tiny cradle of gravity and breath, life appeared. And from life came awareness. And from awareness came wonder. And from wonder, this a voice speaking softly into the quiet, describing the sky that holds us all. Wonder is the bridge between knowledge and peace. It doesn't demand answers, it simply invites presence. When you look up at the stars, you are not trying to solve them. You are remembering that you are made of them. The same hydrogen that fuels the sun flows through your blood. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your veins, the oxygen in your breath, all once burned in the cores of dying stars. We are the universe dreaming itself into consciousness. We are starlight learning to rest. And rest we must, because the cosmos moves whether we chase it or not. The solar system will continue to turn long after our names are gone. Saturn's rings will fade. The moon will drift farther. The sun will breathe its last light, but motion will remain. The dust of all that was will seed new suns, new worlds, new beginnings. There is no true ending here, only transformation. If you close your eyes now, you can imagine it. 1 billion years from this moment, the Milky Way will have merged with Andromeda, forming a new galaxy, one brighter and wider than either alone. New stars will ignite, new planets will spin. And perhaps somewhere new dreamers will listen to the hum of light describing it softly to help themselves sleep. Every ending is simply a pause before another breath. The dream we've followed tonight is part of that same rhythm. It began with light passed through dust-formed worlds, and now drifts again into stillness. It is not closing, it is returning, as all things do. Knowledge and calm orbiting each other forever. The science and the silence, the fact and the feeling, the wonder and the rest. Let it all settle now. Let the stars above and the breath within move together. You don't need to remember every planet, every detail, every number. You only need to remember this: everything moves in peace. Even when it burns, even when it freezes, even when it vanishes, it moves toward balance. And so do you. The night is not over. It's just quiet. The sun is not gone. It's just distant. The universe is not cold. It's simply slow. Everything everywhere is still unfolding softly, beautifully, endlessly. And so we keep floating. The silence deepens and we follow. We are still drifting slowly, soundlessly through the infinite hush. The solar system has become a memory behind us, now a soft glow swallowed by distance. Yet, even at the edge of knowing its light still finds us. Every photon that leaves the sun carries a story, and even here in the farthest reaches of the dream, we can still feel its warmth as an idea, as remembrance. The light that reaches your eyes has traveled millions, sometimes billions of years. Every twinkle you see in the night sky is an ancient conversation still crossing the gulf between time and silence. And though those stars seem still, they are moving, drifting through their own orbits, their own destinies. Galaxies themselves revolve, bending light, curving space, each one a quiet wheel of eternity, turning without hurry. To look into that vastness is not to see the end of something. It is to see a beginning that never stopped. The universe doesn't age as we do. It unfolds, it cools, it expands, it breathes. Every moment, new stars ignite, while old ones fade into the darkness, scattering the seeds of the next generation. Creation and destruction are the same gesture repeated forever. It can feel impossible to hold such immensity in the mind. But the secret is that you don't have to. You are already part of it. Every breath you take contains atoms once forged in the heart of stars. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, these are relics of fusion and flame. The warmth in your chest is the same physics that powers the sun. When you breathe out, you return your atoms to the air, to the cycle, to the endless motion of the cosmos. Perhaps this is what peace means on a universal scale, the realization that nothing is truly lost. Every element, every photon, every idea simply changes form. The light from the sun that warms a leaf becomes sugar, becomes food, becomes thought, becomes dream. And when the dream ends, it returns to the dark, not to disappear, but to rest, to wait to rise again in another shape. Even the silence we drift through now is full. It hums with the faint music of radiation, the low echo of the Big Bang stretched thin across eternity. This sound is everywhere, a soft static of existence, We are surrounded by it, woven into it, made of it. The universe is not empty, it is filled with memory. And in that memory, light continues to move outward. The Voyagers, now far beyond the heliopause, still send their faint signals home. Their golden records still spin, carrying music greetings and laughter into the dark. If one day they are found, they will tell whoever listens that once there was a small blue world that dreamed of the stars. That we looked up not to escape, but to understand. That we believed knowledge could be gentle. That we whispered into the night not for answers, but for connection. Perhaps that is what the solar system truly teaches, that everything from the orbit of a moon to the drift of a comet is a conversation. A gravitational dialogue between bodies, a pull and response that never ends. The sun speaks in warmth, the planets reply in reflection, and the moons listen in quiet resonance. Even the dust between them is part of that music, vibrating with the same laws, the same balance, the same infinite patience. We are listeners to that song. And when we speak softly, when we tell stories about worlds and light and time, we are not separate from it. We are adding our own verse. The human voice, calm and steady, describing the stars, is just another vibration in the same universal chord. The science is the melody. The calm is the meaning. So let the knowledge rest now, like dust settling on moonlight. Let the orbits continue without you for a while. Let every image Neptune's winds, Saturn's rings, Jupiter's storms fade softly into the dark behind your eyes. They will still be there when you wake. The cosmos does not hurry. It waits in its own rhythm. And as your breath slows, feel that rhythm find you again, slow, deep, tidal. You are the echo of oceans, the hum of stars, the quiet continuation of a story older than sound. Every exhale releases you into that story. Every inhale draws it closer again. Nothing is apart. Everything belongs. The dream lingers here between thought and space, between wakefulness and wonder. No lesson left to learn, no destination left to reach. Just stillness. Just the vast breathing dark, and within it, you. The solar system sleeps now, its planets gliding through orbits, like lullabies made of gravity and time. And we rest with it, suspended in the same gentle pull, warmed by the same light, held by the same silence. And so we drift together softly, endlessly beautifully, until the stars fade to quiet, and quiet becomes the only sound there is. The dream doesn't end, it only rests, and somewhere far beyond sight, the universe keeps breathing.